We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
I blame it on industry. I blame it on my own hypocrisy. Miseducation and politicians. No one's willing to step up and speak.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We are live here at paceradio.net. Tonight, I was supposed to be joined by my joint host, Julie Carallo, but due to tech issues, I've been trying to call her for the last 45 minutes, and we've been conversing, but we can't get any connection here through our Skype calling and stuff, so unfortunately, she could be someplace where it's no man's land. Who knows? She just recently bought an RV, so who knows where she is. But in her place, I've got Tamara Cartwright joining me. Hello, Tamara.
Hi, Al. How you doing?
Not bad. Hey, thanks for filling in, man. You know, this happens every once in a while. Something that completely out of our control happens, and it's always nice to know that when we need a backup, somebody's there to do so.
Absolutely. Well, you know, with the network being, we all have to work together, so there's always one of us that can fill in. You filled in for me on a few occasions too, where I've had guests that have not been able to be reached or had to cancel. So, yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Good. Well, let's get started out. Basically, just I just titled this a conversation with Tamara Cartwright, and I thought, that's what we'll have is a conversation. And let's start off as people know you have a show here on the network, Cannabis or Coffee, or Cannabis and Coffee to Marijuana, and today you had a very interesting guest.
I did. I had Dana Larson on today, and we talked a lot about harm reduction, and he's got the Get Your Drugs Tested going on out in Vancouver, which is also offsetted here to Cranbrook. Two Anchors here does drug testing too as well, but not like they do in Vancouver. And I really want to put a great shout out to them because that's a really great program. I mean, people are using drugs, no matter how you slice it. Trauma, poverty, whatever, PTSD. There's so many, abuse. There's so many things that go hand in hand with addiction. And at least if they have a safe supply, they're not going to OD. And I mean, I'm no fan of anybody, going out wanting to use drugs, but sometimes you just get to the point where it's not an option. And I hate to say, people want to say it's a choice. I don't agree with that. I think there's some trauma in people's lives. They look for an escape, and then the escape takes over and it takes them away, and they don't know how to stop it. And it becomes physically addicting and really hard to deal with the sickness that goes along with opioid addiction, heroin addiction, fentanyl addiction, even cocaine addiction. And the recovery houses and stuff that we have 4 in Alberta, 4 in British Columbia that are governmentally funded, but 90% of them aren't. And when it's $30,000 a month to go to a rehab facility to try and get better, it's unattainable for the average person. So being able to have safe drug supply, which I'm a firm believer in, like I'm not saying, line them up and give them away and, hand them out to everybody freely. I'm not saying have a free for all, but I think that if we at least have the ability to test what they're getting, so they know that they're not poisoning themselves, is a really it's a huge thing. And there are people dying, every day overdoses. So and I have a family member, my daughter, my oldest daughter, has been struggling with addiction for many years, and it's tough because you don't want that mom that says no, but you have to at some point. But at some point, after years and years, you have to accept the person for who they are, and what they do is not who they are. And it's hard to distinguish that, but I mean, accepting them for being a drug user, for having the illness, for having that it's an illness. Like I don't even know how else to say it. And addiction's a really tough illness to kick. It's not like cancer where you can go in and get chemotherapy treatment and hope to God. There
Correct.
is, there is methadone, there is Suboxone, there are drugs to help, ease the pain, but it all comes down to whether the person wants to live or die.
Well, yeah. Just so you know, I believe Julie has joined us.
No, well, that's terrific.
Julie.
Hi guys, I'm so sorry. I was lost in the annals of, I don't know where I was. I was in some twilight zone. I've been on the phone all day and I don't know what happened, but it seems like I've made it past the Rubicon. I've crossed the Rubicon. I'm back in the land of the living. Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been it's quite a busy time, but lots of exciting things going on.
Yes.
Yes. So many wonderful things are happening, even amidst all the challenges that we face. I feel some really incredible movements going on with great people connecting globally. So I've been excited about that this week.
Well, it sounds like good news. What about your
Yes.
RV? Did you get your RV?
Yeah,
How
I
was
did. I went down and got picked up this RV. Was quite a blessing to be offered this opportunity. It just came through very simply and easily. And so we're going to take the skunk mobile on the road. And it's going to be really fun. So I'm down here actually with my family, and they're walking us through the ropes because they have the same unit. So they were able to give me, and help me learn everything that I needed to learn about taking this beauty out on the road.
Yeah, because it's not as easy as jumping in and driving them. You got to be able to empty the septic tanks and fill them with water. And
Yes.
Yeah, man. It's 31 feet. It's not a huge one.
It's 31 feet. What do you mean it's not huge? Still sounds big anyway. It's 31 feet. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, compared to some of these big guys out there, but I'm like a little guy, but it's a one bedroom, it has a little unit in the back that has, so I just feel so thankful, but it has been a learning curve, a fun one though, new adventures.
Yeah.
So thanks for asking, Tamara.
I posted on your Facebook, so I was curious.
My understanding from that post, that is basically you're going to be driving around living in this thing, right? Is that the idea behind it? Yeah, okay.
For right now, because when we left Quebec 3 years ago, we were really kind of moving around. My son, he's 19, so he's in transition, into young adulthood, and I'm in transition, as moms and dads do when their kids grow up. So it's kind of open-ended, And we've been on the road a lot, just visiting different farms, going to different areas. We've been up in NorCal quite a bit recently. And so, what I really dream of is saving up for land. And so it was right for us. And it was an opportunity that came through from a client that actually wanted to get rid of this. And she had a really good deal. She was totally down with a rent to own. And it was just awesome. It was like, okay, well, I guess this is meant to be. And we can save up. And plus, I've been always in love with the van life style. I have gypsy. My one tattoo is I've got gypsy tattooed on my wrist. And my son has actually been researching it for years, and he had invested in his first vehicle. He saved up his money and invested in a van that he was going to build out. And so we've both been interested in it, and we both want to invest in land. I mean, I think a lot of people, Tam, I know you're covering Sarah's story, Sarah Corinne, and, what she's done, she's, living the dream, I think, that a lot of us have to, save up and build up, a sustainable regenerative farmstead and, have different capabilities. So we're also interested in that. And I think a lot of people are. I think we're dealing with a whole, another round of back to earth movement.
There's a big difference, though. See, where you are, it's probably, I'm going to say 60, 70 degrees. Where Sarah is, what was it, Tamara, the other day, minus 40 or something?
Sarah
Right.
was, she sent me a picture this morning where Sarah and Sean are, it was minus 42. Because she sent me a picture this morning. I was just like, are you kidding me? But it's minus 20 here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in southern BC. Sarah's like northern BC. But even where Alvin was working up in northern Alberta, it was minus 57 today.
Oh.
So, I mean, there are people, but there are people in Canada that do that as well. They live. And what they do is they kind of migrate to warmer pastures in Canada. They go out to Kelowna or Penticton or go to the West Coast to the island. And you can live out there like an island.
You can, eh? I wondered about that because I've seen people talk about that, but right now with the borders being closed, as far as driving over them, it would be harder for people who live that lifestyle to be able to travel south to warmer climates.
Well, right now it would be because of COVID, but like I said, on the West Coast, like by Vancouver, Vancouver and on the island out there, it usually gets even today. I think Mel said it was like -1. It never really gets that cold out there. They never really get a lot of snow on the West Coast either, so it just rains a lot though. So it makes it kind of miserable if you're in an RV or a tenting situation. You wouldn't want to be in a tent and in the tundra, or not the tundra, but it's like the rainforest, right? So
right,
that would be kind of not great but I mean, like I said, people out here actually live in trailers like that all year round too. They just winterize them. You can get 4-season trailers that are actually winterized that you can actually use all year round. -40, they're good for -40 because the guys take them up north. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, well, I think Julie, I think you're going to enjoy that. It's you can wake up to a different scene. Once a week, whole new location.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it. That's I started traveling at a young age. When I was 17, 18, I took off to Europe, lived in Spain. So I have quite an adventurous spirit. So I'm excited for it. So thanks, guys, for all of the good wishes, because it is going to free us up. We have 20 invitations to 20 different farms. I mean, there's no way that we could get to it all. And I'm a big hot springs fan. I'm excited to hit the hot springs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The hot springs.
I guess you guys are because of COVID, you're not going to go state to state. You're just going to stay within California for now, right? Or are you planning on going to Arizona or down into Mexico, or what do you?
Oh yeah, we can go everywhere. Last summer, we took a road trip because I had to go and speak at Seattle Hemp Fest. So we actually and a couple of my key people at the magazine live in Bend. My account manager and social media director both live in Bend. And so we went up through Oregon and Washington and then came back down and camped along the way. And so, yeah, I love it. Yeah, no, we're going to take off on the road. There's lots of stuff going on in Oregon that we definitely want to go check out. And always dreaming of Mexico. I speak Spanish. I want to get my butt down to the beach. I need some vitamin C, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. Believe me, I do. Like I said, we're with this whole COVID thing. We're kind of, stuck in Canada right now. They've shut down the flights. You can't even fly too warm anywhere out of Canada right now.
Yeah, now,
So
yeah,
till this damn virus is, back, or some sort of control vaccines are, more, readily available. We're all kind of stuck in the frickin' this is the tundra.
yeah, we have
we're in the doldrums.
$2,000 3-day visit in the local in a hotel when you return back to Canada.
It's 4,000 in Australia. Did you read that
4,000.
article?
Wow.
4,000 in Australia because somebody had relocated from the coast to move home to Australia, and it's at their cost. It's $4,000 in Australia, and they
Per
locked
person.
down because again, per person, yeah. And I know I had somebody complaining up here, why $2,000 too double? I says, you know what? Why should the taxpayers? Because you chose to travel. Like, why should it be on the taxpayer to pay for your hotel? You don't like the shitty bagel, don't travel. I'm kind of an asshole that way, but you don't like the shitty bagel, and I guess you shouldn't have traveled. I don't know, but
Oh shit! Yeah. So what's the magazine end of things there, Julie? Every time, usually before as the broadcast gets going, we usually have a discussion about what's new and exciting at the magazine. Here's an opportunity to replace that spot and let's find out what's going on.
Thank you. Yeah, there's so much happening. It's an exciting moment. We are preparing right now the spring issue, which will be coming out March, April, and May. It'll hit the streets, and we have Alex and Allison Gray doing original artwork. If you know Alex and Allison Gray, Alex Gray, he had done the famous 1995 High Times poster, and he's for Amsterdam. And he's do you guys know that image? It's the woman that is this beautiful electric woman, and she's exhaling smoke, cannabis smoke. Famous High Times poster. Many people cite that as like awakening their consciousness to the depth of what this cannabis movement was all about and the sacred feminine. Many guys actually cite that poster as having made an impact on them. So Alex and Allison are actually doing original art for the cover of the spring issue of Skunk. So that's been really freaking exciting. And I have also interviewed Dave Bronner from Dr. Bronner's, and that has been incredible. Just to dig in with him. If you guys know Dr. Bronner's soaps, his soaps are sold all over the world, and it's been an amazing journey for him because he took and healed and improved dramatically his company's supply chain, and proved that you could do an organic palm oil, that you could do an organic coconut oil. He has created all of these social programs throughout the entire supply chain network to empower women, to empower families. So it's been incredible to interview him, and he launched Brother David's and is also partnered with Sun and Earth Certified, which is certifying organic cannabis farms, and selling their craft wares. And so we're going to be working with them as an educational partner at Skunk, which I'm really excited about. And we're going to be continuing to highlight organic craft farms and tell the story of this regenerative movement so that we can keep healing, keep improving our supply chain, keep improving, how we're doing business. So that's what's coming up for spring in terms of the cover and the cover features.
Nice. Nice. It's always good to have some original art like that. Now, before you joined us, Tamara was talking about harm reduction and things along that line. Is that something that that you guys have covered in the past, or look at maybe covering in the future?
Harm reduction in what sense?
Well, cannabis can work as a harm reduction in order to help people get off of other substances.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's part of why I'm devoted passionately to this work is yeah. We have tens of thousands of examples of people who have gotten off of opiates, who've gotten off of this more kind of conventional approaches to things, and gone towards cannabis and had their lives transformed. So-called miracle healings for people who thought that they were goners. So, yeah, in terms of harm reduction. And then, if you think of great programs, I mean, I think of our mutual friend in D.C., why is his name escaping me? But all the work that he's doing as well on the streets to try and get cannabis packages.
Neil. Yeah.
Neil.
And then Chris Backer's also got and Chris Backer also has a substitution program running the same in Halifax now too. So there's two of them.
Yeah, and I loved what you said, that it's not about the shaming. We got to move away from the shame.
Yeah.
We got to allow ourselves to evolve further, and it's through continuing to push the science, which has been a disappointment, to be honest, with the cannabis legalization, because a lot of science has still not been applied, and it's almost as if they're stopping it or preventing it from being applied. So then it's just like, okay, well, here we are still saying the same things that have been being said for decades. And here we are still insisting that the Canadian government listen to the science and help Neil as an example. Neil's a good example because they keep trying to shut him down through the years. Yeah. And it's like, this is really helping people. This is really going to the root of the issue, because it is about consciousness. It is about science and consciousness coming together. And it can greatly reduce harm in society by allowing this to happen, by uniting what we know to be true with our own consciousness, by what the plant has shown us, and by what we can actually now start to prove with science, that the numbers don't lie. People are actually living better lives, and less people are being hurt by opiates, with cannabis being more widely available.
The better, that's right. Yeah, well, Neil, I think, Tamara, I think you read the same post. Was it 5 months now he's applied for an application to be able to do what he's doing?
Yeah, they were supposed to have a meeting, I believe, with Health Canada a couple of weeks ago, and Health Canada pushed them off. And then again, they were supposed to do another consultation with Health Canada coming up again, I believe. But even Ted Smith is still waiting for paperwork to come through to allow them to stay medicinal with Health Canada within Victoria as well. So there is some progress being made, I think. But again, the government's talking more safe supply when it comes to opioid crisis rather than cannabis substitution. They don't want to hear that cannabis can help, because then they have to admit that cannabis is medical. And I think that's the barrier that we're looking at with the whole cannabis substitution, because then Health Canada has to recognize marijuana as medicine. And we know they don't want to do that. And they've been fighting that been fighting that since day one. And they don't want to admit, because naloxone, Suboxone and methadone are medical treatments for addiction. Whatever, there's lithium or not lithium. Something else.
Absolutely. They have the minister, the health minister of Canada, the female.
Patty Legault.
Yeah, and I saw her quoted publicly saying we want to basically counsel you to get off of cannabis. That the function of Health Canada was to get people off of cannabis and on into pharmacy. She literally is quoted. You can Google it. She's quoted as saying this, and it's so disturbing.
Yeah, that's not
that
good.
the woman that is meant to lead the entire health ministry is so deluded and out of touch with science.
That must have been
and
another
this
one
is who's leading.
No, that must have been somebody prior to, because Patty Lado's not anti-cannabis. It's not her. It's not. That must have been a previous one, because she's not much that way. But again, like I said,
she's approved
the
use. She's approved the use of psilocybin mushrooms for some patients, and now it's expanded into research.
Yeah. Okay. And they're also, like I said, she's the health minister now that's willing to listen to Neil. She's willing to have this consultation meeting with him where nobody prior to has been even willing to listen to them. So I think that we're getting a little bit closer. But again, like I said, the minute that they admit that cannabis is a substitution for opioid addiction, they have to recognize marijuana or cannabis as medicine. And that's the rabbit hole they don't want to go down, because then our medical program is going to have to go back to the way it was. And they've rolled us into the Cannabis Act. So they're going to have to backtrack on so many things. But that's good, because we have legislation in Canada, they can backtrack. They can change the Cannabis Act. They can change legislation, and they can get this fucking program straightened out and get it right eventually if they just start listening to the science. And when we keep saying this,
they've been resisting for 20 years. Over 20 years now, really. Because of the fight before. Yeah. They don't want to. They won't recognize. Yeah. Our prescriptions are like similar to what they have in the U.S., where it's like a recommendation. It's not a prescription per se.
Exactly. And like I said, so with the cannabis substitution programs, then that proves that medicine is actually working to help these people, right? So then they have to recognize it as therapeutic medicine, whether they, and that's where we're heading with this. And same with the psilocybin. That's where we're heading with both of them, is that they're going to finally have to recognize plant organic matter as therapeutic medication. Even in pharmaceutical, the willow is an aspirin. You've got opioids that are poppies. Like, it's all goes back to plants.
The plant. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's amazing. There's a lot of plant connections there for sure. Sounds like someone's grinding up some weed for a joint.
That's me. I just couldn't.
Yes, me too. I'm actually got some Jack Terror here. Where are you smoking on, Tam? I'm smoking on some Jack.
This is some locally grown Violet or Kush, I believe, is what this is, and it's nice locally grown. Not legal market stuff. I try to stay away from the legal market stuff. So I'm not even gonna lie about it.
Yeah.
I haven't
I
been
was speaking with somebody.
To the boutiques.
I haven't been to a store.
Dude, I was speaking from somebody in Germany today, on Clubhouse actually, and it was so funny because we were all getting in there, and it was like a wake and bake kind of thing, and he was talking. I was like, well, what's the update on Germany, So he was giving us the update and the slow-moving quality of the medicinal market and everything. And he talked about, I was like, well, what is the actual medical program like? Because many people are obviously not doing medical. The bulk are doing traditional market, aka black market, but I prefer traditional market. And so he totally, he was like, he's like, the medical program here is just flooded with Canadian weed. And I was like, and it's crap weed from Aurora and Canopy Growth and these bad players in the market, and he's like, the weed is dust, it's just absolute crap. And that's what the Germans know of Canadian cannabis, is that they produce crap weed. And it's just pretty sad because we Canadians don't. But these horrible corporations that have tried to dominate the industry up there are producing crap weed.
Are the Germans not getting their? You think they'd be importing from like Amsterdam or from Norway, or traditionally you wouldn't think they'd be importing Canadian weed. But Murray was telling me the same thing. But the ridiculous prices they were having to pay in Australia for medical, like it was like $600, $800, 7 grams.
Oh my God, it's disturbing.
Yeah.
And to think that it's also substandard. It's like, how heartbreaking. And how horrible that all they care about is getting away with that. They don't care about the negative impact that they're having that could affect that particular market for 10 years. These are, our choices matter. And so it's really sad that this is what is being pushed through the medical program in Germany, because some cronies got together and said, let's do a deal. And we're a big guy and we represent Canadian cannabis. And so we're going to come in and take over the German market. And it's like, that's so gross. And then you try and do it with horrible weed, and you have a reputation for horrible weed. What kind of, is that the legacy?
Canadian weed's crap, and the Germans are exposing it. And that's sad. In reality, that our cannabis is being exported to Europe, and that the Europeans are exposing the crap. Why is that? Why is
and then meanwhile, Canadian patients are still fighting for their doctors to acknowledge that there is scientific proof benefit to the cannabis use, and to make those inroads easier for people to have more access actually hasn't happened. So it is sad, Tam. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer about it. But that was something that I actually came up in conversation just today.
Do they have a medical program in Germany? Like, do they have anything set up like we've got here where you have to see a doctor?
That's the point,
Do they have research? They got research and medical documentation in Germany. Have they not done a lot of research? So why is that science not that the LPs are not feeding? Why is that not going to our Health Canada? Why are they not sharing that information? Isn't that what the licensed producers were supposed to do right from the get-go? Was show the science to our government so that they could prove that it was medical. Wasn't that the whole thing right from the get-go, Al? Like, don't you remember somewhere along the line, wasn't that something that they've missed along the way?
The medical and things. I'm sorry. I'm trying to
because the MMAR, right? Because they gave us the MMAR.
Yeah.
Because we weren't allowed to our fucking cannabis anymore. So the licensed producers became our medical producers. So why are these medical producers that were now supposedly medical producers, we got our licenses back to grow, now that they just became big licensed producers for recreational market? But originally, those producers, Tilray was the first one to come out and say we were never going to go anything but medical. We were going to stay medical. We were never going to go into the recreational market. They fucking lied. Canopy Growth, Aurora, they all said they were going to be just medical. They all lied as soon as they saw the money. And they went for the recreational market, right? And that's where the downfall was. So here's the ironically, the hypocrisy of it all, is you've got Europe, okay, importing Canadian pot. If anybody one of us said anything over there, we'd be going to fucking jail to begin with. Importing, exporting, that's like smuggling, right? How many people have gone to jail for smuggling? And they're just allowing this to happen. And then they're sending them crap fucking dust. So the Canadian reputation for weed in Europe is crap. And then that's showing that our medical is crap. So no wonder our Health Canada experts will not recognize marijuana as medicine. They're feeding them crap, right? Yeah. I don't know, but that's what I mean. Like, that's a barrier. We need to get cannabis recognized as medical. And they're, like I said, they're doing it, but they're not allowing it here. Yet it's our government and our ministries that are doing it.
And you're cannabis. And so it's like, why isn't there the focus on producing, high quality, organic craft, true, beautiful, cannabis? No, that's not the focus. It's a pump and dump, and it's a shell game. And now they're just unloading their crap weed, their mistakes, into another market. And I don't even want to think about what is actually present in the herb itself if they were really analyzing it and looking at, and that's what the German who was speaking, the German gentleman who is a traditional grower, and an expert there, he was just like, yeah, it's irradiated anyways. They've killed the turds and it's dry as dust, and it's like, what are we doing here? Does that? So yeah, we just got a lot of work to do. And I did connect also on that same call, which I was really happy about, is connecting the dots with bringing more consistent Canadian news into skunk, both online and in print. And I know I'm excited about what we have discussed, us here at PACE as a group, that you guys are going to also begin sharing more. And I just think we have to keep on revealing this, that this is the reality, that this is not everything is legal and hunky-dory up in Canada. There's still a lot of fight that we have to do to keep evolving it to a better system.
Like I said, when it comes to the recreational market, everybody seems to be all hum to hum. But even the microcraft, it's still $1 million+ to get involved in the small base microcrafting. And you're only allowed a small area. You're only allowed to produce so much. You have to, I think, I'm not sure positively, but I think they can actually sell in British Columbia straight to the store now and not have to go through the LP, but I think that's only British Columbia. In Quebec, they still can't grow 4 plants.
No,
they still are having,
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So this is you can't even, so in Quebec, they can't even grow 4 plants.
Well, they've
trying to get a microcrafting license. I know people that have built facilities. Health Canada came in and said, or they had a facility, they were licensed patients. They had their facility already up and running. Health Canada came in and said, nope, that's not good enough. Rebuild it.
Yeah.
So they rip everything down. They rebuild a whole new facility. That's a huge cost. Who's got $500,000 fucking dollars to build a new facility?
Yeah, and then they want you to build a facility before they'll give you a craft license. Hey,
but then again, you're not Barron and those guys, and they're saying, no, that's not how it is, and it's so easy. And Kirk and I give them kudos for getting ahead, but they still haven't got a license either. But it's probably break time.
I'm gonna take a quick break here, okay, and then we'll come back. All right, sounds good.
Absolutely.
All right, be along shortly. You're listening to Pace Radio Show. We are live here at paceradio.net. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
The People Advocating Cannabis Education Radio Network provides its listeners with news, information, and a place to be heard. This is done with a twice-weekly broadcast of the Reefer Reporters and by providing cannabis advocates a place to be heard through Cannabis and Coffee with Marijuana and the award-winning Pace Radio Show. Catch it all here at paceradio.net.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or a commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
What is the People Advocating Cannabis Education Radio Network? It's a network of people advocating cannabis education. CTCP operates a medicinal cannabis signing clinic. If you want to grow your own medicinal cannabis and are located anywhere in Canada, then I'd like to suggest that you give them a call. They can be reached at 1-613-967-9888. That's 1-613-967-9888, and grow on with CTCP.
Who has huge buds? You do. If you shop at BMA Hydroponics, attend one of BMA's educational seminars and learn the secrets of growing, harvesting, processing, and consuming quality cannabis and cannabis products. Learn how to make better extracts, edibles, and medicinal creams at prices you can afford. Visit BMA Hydroponics at 404 Maitland Drive, Belleville, or call 613-967-9888.
The only way to go.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
I jumped in the van with my friend.
Hello, you're listening to the Pace Radio Network, and this is the Pace Radio Show, and we are live here at paceradio.net. Before the break, with Tamara and Julie and I were just talking about everything and anything, and lo and behold, over the break, we've added to the party going on here, and Kim Cooper has joined us. Good afternoon, or good evening, Kim.
Good evening, everybody. You forgot what show we were doing there at the intro, didn't you, Al?
No, I don't have any lines in front of me.
Kim, he doesn't have
It's been a crazy day. We've been doing this show for 2 years, and I've never not have been able to get through or had Al get through to me to call me in. So that's been very unusual. And poor Al, we've mixed you all around, Al.
I'm all confused now.
Thank you for rolling with it, man.
It's like, what day is it today? I thought I already heard your voice today. It can't be Wednesday.
I got the Pace Radio Network messaging me on Messenger, on Spreaker. I'm getting messages from the Pace Radio Network.
Cool.
Who's messaging me?
Who's messaging you? You forgot to change the icon. It's obviously somebody that works at the station.
It was Craig. He spoke up and said
Craig.
it was. No. Yeah, we've talked about Julie's RV, traveling life. We've been talking about harm reduction.
I saw pictures of that. That's pretty freaking cool, Julie. That's pretty cool.
I know.
It's way bigger than mine.
Is it?
Yeah,
yours
it
looks
like
pretty darn big. Mine's 31 feet, I think.
Oh, maybe it's about the same size as mine then.
31. Yeah.
I'm not sure what size ours is. I'll have to ask the old man.
It's not that big. It's not that big. It's doable. I know but it's 31 feet. I think it's a good size, man. I'm stoked, Kim. We're gonna have to figure out how to get up to BC, and then up over. I don't know, man. You're up over in Timbuktu for me.
If you make it to BC, maybe I can make it to BC.
Okay.
Hey, I got
we both have RVs. So I mean, maybe we can both make it to BC.
Yeah.
Right. We can co-camp. I like that.
Right? You guys just kind of meet in the middle, like, right? Yeah.
Just meet in Cranbrook. Yeah. Just meet in Cranbrook, right?
Yeah.
I say yes.
For sure. We can meet in Cranbrook. Well, you
gotta think.
How Julie,
Yeah.
Between the two of
You
us,
can go
if
to
you and
Tulip.
I went to BC, do you know how many people would bug us to go to there? Oh my God, we would need to spend like a month in BC.
Oh, I know, man. Let's go. Let's go for it. Let's go into the roots of BC Bud and go nuts.
And we just pick you up, and I'll just come with you.
I'm
guys.
excited. I want you guys. Listen, I'm watching you. Everybody needs to start getting Canadian news up at skunkmagazine.com. I'm so excited about you all sharing more of what's happening, because as we said, there's still so much work that's being done, and and then it'd be fun. We should definitely do some road trips, and you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh,
we
would have a really good time.
Yeah,
we got to pick up Tamara along the way for sure.
Yep.
I'm done.
We got to do the show live together one day.
Yeah.
You can ask
That's a bucket list thing, guys. Is we have to do this live one day where we're all together. That's a bucket list.
It's a bucket list, yeah, because we're Central Ontario, we're British Columbia, California, and you got to think Cranbrook.
Well, we could pull Cindy in, and we've got East Coast to West Coast, right?
That's right, and Michelle. Michelle's,
absolutely.
Michelle's now with us.
Yeah.
Michelle's with us now. We've got Cindy, who's on the East Coast. I mean, we're literally coast to coast now.
Oh, we are. Yeah, and
everything in between,
and to the southern
and south
coast
of the border.
That's right.
Yeah, and south of the border. So I mean, going global here.
It's too bad that Tim McNeary moved
I just had a really interesting call. That's one thing I wanted to share tonight when I told Al, because I had a group that I wanted to bring on to talk about the relaunch of the skunk forums. So I'm going to be bringing them on the 24th, actually. And we're going to talk about all the exciting things. We are relaunching the skunk forums. It's really exciting. It's a whole new era. And in addition to that, we are also going to we're in talks of how we can launch Skunk Espanol and start producing content in Spanish. I'm Cuban, as you guys know. I'm a Latina, and I've been wanting for so long I've been dreaming for years and years and years of this moment of being able to have a sister site that we develop that is educating all the Spanish speakers. So I'm connecting the dots with a woman in Mexico City. You can look at her Instagram. It's Canativa, CANNATIVA. But those are a couple of things that are on the roster for Skunk for the next quarter. Definitely I'm excited about anybody who's listening in to come and go to skunkmagazine.com. Next week, you could check in. Definitely the week after that, the forums will be going. And it's going to be an open source format where lots of information is being shared by soil scientists, by breeders, by organic regenerative farmers, just so many different styles of educators, both women and men, are going to be speaking in the space. And so I'm super excited about it. People can get off of Facebook and IG, because that's not, people are just, they're clamoring to find information anywhere they can. So
that's right.
In this place, we'll be able to really share in a different way, and I'm really looking forward to it. Definitely want you guys involved.
3 things I want to touch on what you said there. Going Spanish, congratulations. That's great. As we know, Mexico's just published their medical end of things for cannabis for south of your border. In order to spread that. The forum relaunch, fantastic. I know in the past, that's where I learned to grow with the Rev, was because of the forums. And as far as Facebook goes, I think the Facebook jail champion is here with us tonight.
Yeah. I've been on a block in Facebook for like literally monthly, minimum monthly, mostly weekly for like 2 years.
Well, didn't you post something today about you're in jail, but we're just
they gave up blocking me. They don't block me anymore. Now they've put me on something called a restriction. So the restriction, the way that works is, they send you all this double talk mumbo jumbo shit when you try and figure out what's going on through conversation, right? And I got a pile of fucking screenshots of stuff that they've sent me that makes absolutely no sense. So this restriction, they don't have to inform you of it. And it means you can only post like X number of posts per day, and then you're done for sharing anything outside of your own wall. But they don't tell you how many posts that is. Took me about a month to figure out. The number is about 3. So I can share 3 posts anywhere, and then in every 24 hours, and then you're done. And for every time you try and share beyond those 3 points, that's an X against you, and it increases your time on restriction.
Oh.
Right.
Wow.
So you don't know that your 24-hour period is up, and you try and share a post and it stops you. You just increased your restriction time, which means you never get off restriction because you don't know how long it is. So you try to share a post to see if it's over, to find out, no, it's not over. And by doing that, you lengthen your restriction.
Yep. And who wants to deal with all that?
Or what? Yeah.
Who wants to deal with all of that nonsense? Yeah.
We need a different platform. Like, big forums up, Jill. I remember the forums we used to. Thank you. The forums were way better. I mean, it's just this crap.
There is one.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And this time it started with peace posts. I overshared posts about peace to too many groups, and that angered them.
Wow.
For my hashtag Peace Train 2021. That's what it's all about.
When I saw that, I thought, what the fuck? Yeah.
Peace posts. I overshared. I shared to too many groups. That's not allowed. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
That's not allowed.
Yes.
And they were all hippie groups. They were all hippie groups and 70s groups and peace and love groups, and everybody's loving it, right? And everybody's like, oh, share your post here, Kim. I said, oh, okay. So I did. And Facebook, that angered them. Yeah. So they tell you to join groups, but they don't tell you to limit the amount of groups you join, because if you join too many and share to them, that'll get you in trouble on social media.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're leaving all that behind, and we will, the next show I'll be devoting to bringing on some of the educators. Listen, it's a stellar, it is sparkling list of soil scientists, educators that people really, really are looking to learn from. People like Jeff Lowenfels, people that are really people that many are getting benefit from. They're going to be speaking in a way that's very informal, as you said, Kim, that being able to learn from the Rev and have him present, like, what an incredible gift. And definitely reached out to the Rev, and he's our little resident recluse. He's the man of mystery.
The growing guru.
Yeah, he's done so much, man. Such a positive impact on the planet. Can you imagine? But I said, come on, you're going to have to come out of hiding, Rev, and come back into the forums and speak. He's like, I'm an old man, Julie, what are you doing? But he was very supportive and very excited and thought, hey, this is a really good idea. This is the moment for this.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like awesome. I mean, we need a forum to talk. My only thing is, you know, it bothers me about social media and the way they're handling it. And, you know, it's awesome that Skunk is providing us a forum where we can meet. The only imperfection in that plan that I can see is we're singing to the choir. So people that are in cannabis or want to know about cannabis gravitate there. So we're not reaching the masses still that need to be reached. And that's the platform that social media allows us to get the information out there. So I got to keep fighting on Facebook and doing what I can, because if my posts and the information that we share on these platforms reaches one person that decides to pick up a book and learn more, then it's worth it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're not going to stop with we're actually uniting a lot of the different platforms, like with Clubhouse, and then also with, obviously, Facebook group. We have a group called Regeneration Earth that is going to be making an announcement this week, and that's going to unite with our 700,000 on Facebook and our 47,000 on Instagram. To start connecting the dots through there. Yes, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But
absolutely. I agree 100%. Yeah, like a lot of people have asked me, Julie, that's why I brought that up, you know, because I'm going to absolutely gravitate towards the skunk forums. And there's other people that have said, hey, Kim, you know, there's this platform. It's a whole all-weed platform. Go there. And people suggest all these other platforms all the time, right? And they're all great. You know, but that's the main problem with those other platforms, is they're already geared to cannabis. So we're communing with our own. And for me, a large portion of what I do is to get the message out there to people that are unaware. And that's why I want to stress that, I'm going to Skunk 100%. To everybody, and I think it's fantastic. But no, I'm not going anywhere off social media. I'm sticking around, and I'm going to keep fighting.
Us too. We're with you, sister.
Yeah,
we're with you, sister. Yeah, and we are doing some different things, because I agree with you 100%. We got to reach out. We got to talk to not just ourselves. So there are some different things that we're doing, Kim. Which I'm super excited about, that we'll be doing that. So I agree with you 150%. We got to keep bringing it out to people who are not already, on board.
Right.
Well, there's so many people that, with the recreational market, right? And with the recreational market, too, people are being misled. With the recreational market, people are being misled. They're not being taught properly. They're being fed lies about cannabis still, and the stigma that still goes along with it. And I think that's, something that we have to break, and the stigma that still goes along with it, and the misinformation. And these, like Carla Santi made a post last week that made a huge point. She pulled all her liquor out of her liquor cabinet, and all she was legally able to buy for cannabis drinks in Canada was a 4-pack and 1 5-milligram THC.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
12 bottles of hard liquor and 20 cases of beer. Like, she didn't have 20 cases of beer piled up. We can go and buy unlimited amounts of alcohol.
Yeah.
But when you go into these recreational stores, you still are limited to 30 grams of cannabis, or four drinks in a 4-pack of CBD, and then 1 THC drink.
Yeah,
so we still have
but you can call in a wholesale order to the liquor store and back your pickup truck up to pick it up.
Absolutely. But you can't do that at a cannabis store. You can't say, hey, I'm having a wedding and we're going to be serving cannabis. Can we just come and roll in and, buy $1,000 worth of... Because when we had the Kuka Cannabis Cup, me and Sita, or Alvin and Sita went to the liquor store. They loaded up $1,000 worth of booze and put it in the back of the truck and brought it. We had it here for the Cannabis Cup. With nobody batted an eye. But if I would have rolled into the cannabis boutique and said, hey, I need $1,000 worth of your best cannabis so I can go hand it out at my party, they wouldn't allow that. So again, we're still not even close to being anywhere near like craft beer, for example. Somebody wants to pipe up and say, well, it took 70 years to get that. I mean, look at how quickly it's rolling out. It's still not the same. It's not comparable. And you're dealing with apples to oranges, different substances, and one's harmless and the other one's killing people. And yet it's discrimination. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, and the information that they put out there through, your provincial outlets that are that are regulating all of this in Canada. You're right, Tamara. They are putting a lot of misinformation out there, especially about their products. They're not being honest about that. I mean, look at the recalls that we've had. We've got lawsuits pending. We've had class actions brought against LPs for poisoning patients. But their products are the best and the only ones that are safe.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about all of the rest of it, right?
Right.
No, and they don't talk, and they don't want to talk about it, and that's again because they don't want to.
But we're going to talk about it.
No
I need all of we need all of the articles in by Friday.
Hey, Sarah just got me her stuff on Monday. Like I'm
going to have to catch up with you. I don't know what article I'm supposed to write.
Kind of.
Okay,
I'll get it to you.
Come on, let's do it.
Okay, if it's a deadline, I'll get it to you by Friday. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, let's just do it, man.
Later.
Okay.
There's stuff. If you've got a bone to pick, it should be at skunkmagazine.com. Pick it online.
That would be a good place to start, right? But again,
right, absolutely.
Bringing everything to a forum where we can all pick it, right? Yeah.
We need a place to have a voice, and then we need a place to have a voice
and
to say our piece. Absolutely, and Skunk is providing that. I mean, once the article is in with Skunk, then you can share it to all social media forums and platforms from there and still get your voice out. But you need a starting point for that story, and this is a great opportunity for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Totally, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to catch up with you after the show there, Julia. I will help you. I will write something up, and I will try and get it to you on Friday, but you'll have to fill me in on what I'm writing. What do you need?
Absolutely. I was being playful, but I am also being sincere. So, yes, let's schedule it, Kim. We're due to talk anyways, and same with you, Tam. Let's
No, I'm serious. I got all the information. Like, I've been bugging Sarah for a while. If I finally got a timeline that she sent to me, and I was going to work on it this week. So, I will have something for you by Friday with pictures and everything. Like, I've got all, I've got it already. Well, no, I don't have it already, but I can slam it off in a few. Yeah, I can have it done in 3 days. I can have it done by Friday. I'll start working on it today. I'm excited because I haven't written for a really long time, right? So I
just started. I've never written. I've never written before, and I've never done any writing. I mean, I do like headline stuff and blurbs for the radio station and that short stuff. Nothing with any significant content. But then I wrote that blog over Christmas holidays there, and just before Christmas. And I got right into it. So I got to block myself out some time to write. It's just been so busy with launching so many new shows.
Yes.
Yeah, launching lots of shows going on.
Yes. Yeah. Well, here we're at 10 different broadcasts that we're capable of doing. Just so you know, we've lost Julie. She's dropped from the call.
I figured that. I heard her drop off. Yeah, I heard her drop off.
Google Fi subscriber.
Yeah, there she is. She's just her thing is just doing. It's gone to the answer machine. So she's saying, yeah.
I figured she dropped off. Yeah, we launched the new show on Pace, Open Your Eye, and of course I've got all kinds of stuff going on IWK. We've got movie night. That happens tomorrow. Is the first movie night on Info with Kim on Facebook, and we're showing Dosed tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So that'll be pretty cool.
Good. Cool. Just so you know, Julie says sorry, but she's going to have to depart. And, she'll be back in 2 weeks. But
she'll be back in 2 weeks. Well, it was awesome talking to Julie, for sure, and touching base with her. I got to get in touch with her about a writing slot for Skunk.
Yes. Get some
exciting
material
stuff going
there.
on there, right?
Yeah.
Exciting stuff going on at Skunk with the Rev and with the launch of the new platforms and stuff.
Yeah, I've been sharing the Rev's articles lately. I've had a guy who's asked for some advice here and there, so some of that, sometimes just easier to find an article on that subject from somebody that you learn from yourself, or somebody you trust.
Absolutely.
And
well, you can feel free to share those on IWK. I can't. So.
No, I get the emails in the morning. Can you share this for me, please?
So I have a lineup of like 5 people posting stuff on IWK for me now. I call everybody in the morning.
Just trying to get us to we'll all be banned. We'll all be banned for oversharing. Here, share this stuff next week. We'll all be on Facebook bans. We can't share shit.
Yeah, well, like I've got my 15 articles and I split them up, between like 5 people or 6 people, so everybody's only got 3 or 4, right? That way nobody gets in trouble.
Yeah, you got them right at that limit line, 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4 each. Okay, we're good. All right, We'll get them out there. We'll get the news out there. We get the content up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Teamwork.
That's right. Well, that's exactly it. Like we're all, like I said to Al, we're a team on this network, so that's why we've got backup.
Yeah.
That's why we can all just kind of gather together and and figure out and fix this and have a solution to the problem. And here we all are, right?
That's right. Yeah,
that's it.
Problems with Julie. I sent out a couple SOS. Hey, I need somebody wanted to fill in, and Tamara answered, and then you come along afterwards, and I had already messaged you and said that Tamara was here, and you said, "Oh shit, I missed out." So I said, "Well, hey, you want
I missed it. I was busy.
You want to join in?"
We can never have too many of us.
That's
Us.
right.
It's always good to have 3 or 4 of us together. It makes it fun. Like I said, then we can all kind of mix and match our opinions, and it always comes down to the same thing. We all are on the same page. We all want the same thing. We all want things to be better for patients, right?
That's
so
right.
that's it.
Absolutely.
Topics tonight.
Yeah, usually every night between 7:30 and 9, I turn my phone off and I spend that time with my hubby. And we sit and we watch TV or something, or we play a board game or some bloody thing. We spend that time together every night after dinner. It used to be 7 till 9. Now it's 7:30 because I have the sesh at 7. So I already took away a half an hour. Now the phone goes off at 7:30. So
mine's only home
7
for a
till
few
9
days.
every night. So I didn't get your message until I went to bed. He went to bed, and I turned my phone on, and it's like, oh look, people are messaging me. What's going on?
Yeah, then it's 2:00 in the morning by the time we get them all done. So what were you trying to say there, Tamara? Being that
I just said Alvin's home for 7 days, and he's okay with me doing my thing because he knows that it is what it is. But he's too busy watching Velocity anyway. So he's sick of it. I've got the impeachment on, right? I've got CNN going, and I'm in my room with CNN going, and he's like, "I'm not watching this shit." Like he's having enough. So. He went and watched. He's watching Velocity, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm out. I've had enough of this shit." I gotta watch it. It's like a train wreck. Like I just can't help myself. Like seriously, it's like a train wreck watching U.S. politics, and I can't pull myself away. It's like if I stop watching it, I'm gonna miss something, right?
Yeah, it's
really bad.
It's something new every day, isn't there?
It is. It's like a bad addiction. It's like a fucking heroin problem. I gotta get to CNN.
And you know what, Sarah? It's funny. I'm on the total opposite end. I don't watch none of it. I couldn't tell you anything that's going on with this fucking impeachment. Nothing. I didn't watch the inauguration. I didn't watch none of it. I haven't got a clue. And I am so much happier because I was on that bandwagon for the longest time just before Christmas and last year. And I got really heated about this whole fucking Trump bullshit. And I finally said, you know what? Enough. I'm not looking at anything else Trump. I don't want to see it. He doesn't fucking exist in my world. And I'm a hell of a lot happier.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm a kind of a political junkie. It's either CBC or CNN. Like and it's just the way it goes. And it's been that way for 20 years. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it's just it's my routine. And I don't get myself all pinned about it because I know I can't change it. Like I can't change what Trump does. It's comedy. Like you know how you watch Big Bang Theory? I watch CNN because Big Bang it's the same. It's like a comedy. Like I just sit there and laugh my guts out. You've got to be kidding. You can't write this shit.
Funny.
Like,
you and your old man.
It's reality. It's a reality show.
You and your old man are just like me and my old man because I refuse to watch any of it. So he'll be sitting in the living room while I'm cooking dinner or something, and he's on his phone. And he's watching CNN, right? Or whatever news story. And he's watching the impeachment, and he's got his phone out. And I'll come in from the living room to the kitchen and says, what are you doing? And he shuts it off. He looks at me. Nothing. You were watching it. I know you were.
Gail just says to me, isn't there something else we can watch? So our in-home rule is no politics during dinner.
You're not done watching this shit yet.
Turn it off.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that too. But I mean, I feel like you have to be informed. Like I said, it's like a bad train wreck. You just can't turn it off.
Well.
But no, like I said, things moving forward. Hopefully things move forward and, like things make a better change. Like, we need some change and hopefully this will be over soon and people can start moving forward and they can get, the COVID relief out and everybody can get get the vaccine or whatever they've got to get done and let's get on with life because this is getting really fucking old.
Well, we are seeing some numbers reductions like even here in Ontario. I don't know about
that's good.
Out west, but we have seen reductions here in Ontario, so which is a good sign. And we're in where I live now. I live in a green area, so it's an all-go. Businesses are open here now, where I am.
Oh yeah. Well, that's good.
We've been in lockdown in Ontario for almost a month.
Yeah.
Well, we were too for a long time. Like BC was for a long time too, and they started opening. But Fraser Valley and Vancouver were still on restrictions with no eat-in, and but we've had eat-in for quite a long time, but we haven't had a lot of outbreak in Cranbrook. We're small though, like our population is 20,000, so we don't have. But Fernie had an outbreak because the ski hill, and they had 1 in 5 people testing positive for COVID out there, and that's only an hour, and it's smaller than we are even, right?
Yeah.
But Kimberley again hasn't, so we kind of I just kind of live my life. I wear a mask when I go out. If I have to go out, I do. And, I'm not going traveling and I'm not going on vacation. I'm not going and visiting my friends and hanging out.
Not going to Mexico or Hawaii or anything?
No. But I'm also like, if I have to go to the grocery store, I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not making my kids stay home from school. Like, he's back to school, thank fucking God. That was the longest month and a half of my life with tonsils and everything.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, he's finally back to school, right?
Yeah. Well, we saw here, like with the kids being home from school, it's there was a lot of parents that were pulling their hair out. So I'm sure they were all happy to be back at school. I saw the kids out here today, and they were all happy to see the dog. Hi, Tessa, because they hadn't been by in a while to see her, right? So that was good.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else we want to discuss tonight, conversation wise? We're at what is it? 9:45 my time.
Yeah.
I just want to mention the get your drugs tested again because that's a really good. And of course, it's not governmentally funded. Like Dana's doing this out of his own pocket. Like I don't know if I'm pretty sure they got a non-for-profit status, but it's really important. And I want people to know that they can go to these places too and get Narcan. And that and if you don't use by yourself, and if you're using, please have somebody you can call or something. It's just to be, if you're going to be using, be safe. That's all I want to say.
That was a big discussion today when you had him on the program. He said that he was up around 10,000 tests that they've done.
They were at 10,000. That was our milestone. 10,000. Yeah,
10,000.
Yeah.
And
a lot of it is coming back.
All across Canada. He says, there's a lot of people who do walk in, but they have received samples from all across Canada, and they do the testing. So it was, it was quite the conversation. I know I received some feedback on it, even here on the chat tonight. Great show today with Dana. Came up on the chat here tonight.
It was a really good show because, like I said, too, he also has a psilocybin dispensary, and he also is working with with microdosing and macrodosing and so many other things. And he's pioneered the dispensaries. If it wasn't for Dana coming, so Kimberly got the first licensing for a BC licensing for a store before legalization. If it wasn't for Dana coming out and helping them get set up and teaching them, and they went out there to spend some time with him, they wouldn't have had a clue either. And these are other things that Dana has done that he doesn't advertise. He doesn't say, I donate money to Mom Stop the Harms. He doesn't expect people to know. He just does. And that's one thing and reason why I respect him so much, because I've known Dana for a decade, 2 decades, almost, it's going on 15 years. We figured it out today. And I just have so much respect for the fact that he just keeps going quietly and keeps working and keeps expanding. And even, like I said, the medicinal ends of everything, plant-based medicine, whether it's peyote, coca leaf, psilocybin, cannabis, it's all related because it's all plant medicine. And like I said, I just have a lot of respect. So,
today when he was talking, I expected some talk on the psilocybin mushrooms, which, he did talk about, but he didn't talk a lot about. His talk was a lot
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I know you are. Dana's going to be an upcoming guest on Kim's new show, Open Your Eye. So
absolutely, I would expect that. That's absolutely.
Yeah, we had him booked a couple of weeks ago.
If you have another if you need another guest that's an expert on that too, I can help you with that too, because I have a couple other friends that make caps and do a lot of consulting in that area too.
Absolutely, we'll talk.
Good to know. And today, when we talked about the cocoa leaf cafe, that was the first I had heard about it, and I thought, oh wow, he's gone from mushrooms, and now he's gone into the coca leaf end of things. So the
cafe's been open for a long time now. Over a year, isn't it?
That's what they said.
A year now.
They've been opening.
See,
and the thing of it is, he also explained the difference between the coca leaf and the cocaine.
Correct.
Or the coca leaf that's grown from cocaine and the coca leaf that they're using for their teas and stuff, and it's totally different extraction, different everything, which is really interesting to me too, because I didn't know any of this. So, I mean, it was really educational for myself, and hopefully for my listeners too. And for anybody else, that's listening tonight, if you want to go back, you can check my show out. It's archived on the Pace Radio Network as well. But it was a really good conversation. And like I said, I told him we'll have to have him back again as soon as possible. Well, whatever. Like I said, and Cindy I could always have Cindy on too, because she's managing the Coca Leaf Cafe for him too, right? And she was kind of like, yeah, you should come on your show for your birthday. I'm like, sorry, it's been a while since I've had. In fact, I've never had Dana on my show. This is the first time I've ever had Dana on my show. Even when I was with the other network, I did. But because my show's early in the morning, right? Yeah. And because my show's early in the morning, it's difficult to pin down some of the West Coasters because they work late, so they're not going to bed till 3:00 in the morning. They're not up at 9:00 in the morning. It's a stretch to. I've had Neil Magnuson on my show from his bed.
Well,
even when Cindy does my show, she's usually still laying in bed, has to set an alarm, right?
I don't think they're the only one. I think maybe you too.
No, I'm up. I'm still up till 3:00 in the morning some nights, but I have to get up because I've got a child to get to school, so I'm up usually by 7:00 in the morning. But you guys are up. It's by the time I'm pulling out of bed, you guys have been up. It's 9:00 in the morning in Ontario. I know. And I'm just pulling my ass out of bed, right?
I know for Kim, she's had a long history with Dana. Yeah. And even being a last, literally a last second guest, like it's 2 minutes before a live show, and she'll call him up. Yeah, and he's been there more than once.
He's helped us out in a jam several times. Yeah, for sure. Dana's awesome. He's been fantastic.
Well, I haven't seen him.
And you're right, Tamara. He's done so much, and he moves quietly. He's not in this to get recognition from anybody, or anything like that. He doesn't need the hero badge or the cape or any of that. He just wants to get shit done.
Yeah.
No, and the books too. Like, that's I like to promote the fact that he writes books, and Harry Potter and all the and all the books that he's written, and
educational.
And like I said,
education all the way.
Just always been moving. Like I said, I first had him down to Lethbridge for the Mark Emery fundraiser we did in 2008. Right, so that was the first time I really got to know him, and he spent the weekend in Lethbridge. Right, so did Lisa, and so did Jody. Jody Emery was there too, and so was Lisa Kirkman. So that was the first weekend we really got to kind of know each other because we got to spend some time together, right? And then again, we went to Montreal together for the 2014 Liberal Convention, and then Mum Cup, and over the years, like I said, if I've ever, needed really anything to talk, chat, whatever, he's always been there. But the last 4 years, we've kind of had lost kind of touch, and I'm glad that we've regained that. So, like I said, it's been. It's been good. It was good. I was really pleased to have.
I look forward to the one that Kim will have with him as well.
Absolutely, psychedelics and
knowledgeable.
And I'm not down for that stuff. I don't know anything about it. I don't partake. I don't microdose. I'm just starting to educate myself on it too. But I'm not one to want to use them. I'm I think I mentioned to you guys before. I'm scared of them. Scared shitless of mushrooms. I had some bad trips on them.
That's where the education comes. That's why we're all going to learn, right? We're all going to learn together.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a friend of mine that keeps, and I've got 25 milligram caps sitting here in my cupboard, and I've been, told on a number of occasions, just take them, Tamara, just take them. Take one before you go to bed. And I'm thinking, I take one before I go to bed, I'm going to be up all fucking night.
I sleep on them. I sleep on them. I sleep on them. No problem.
I got another friend that does too. She comes and and she tells me she eats 3 grams before she goes to bed, and she sleeps like a log. And I'm like, holy fuck, I'd be climbing off the walls. From a match. Oh my God.
A microdose, I'll sleep on them. You get a little bit of a charge for a little while, and then it's boom, okay, it's bedtime. Yeah.
But what is your microdose? Absolutely. How many milligrams are you taking before bed?
I couldn't tell you milligrams. I grow my own. I pick a mushroom and I say, yeah, that one looks good, and I eat it.
It's just.
That's not helpful, Kim. That's not helpful. I just eat a cap. That's not helpful.
I take one and I eat it. It's oh, look at that one. That was nice. I'll take that one. And I eat it. Like I said, I don't know a hell of a lot. I've been doing what I do, but I've been winging it. I read my books and I read articles and I follow along with what people say. I take advice from people and I take all of that information and I go, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I just do it. So, that's why this show, I think a lot of people are doing that. And that's why I thought that this show is a good idea. Yeah. Because we all need to learn more, and we're all on different paths while we're learning. So combining that information is awesome. Michelle has the longest history with microdosing at 3 years. And she's educated herself through, reading articles and, clinical trials and all of that kind of thing, where I've just been winging it for a year and a half. And then you've got Cindy, who's been on her own path for about 2 years, and she's going the legal route with a doctor, and a doctor knows what she's doing, and she's getting guidance. So all three of us are doing different things, but all with the same substance. And that's why I think that this is going to be a great collab, because we're all from different places, and we can all learn together now.
Well, yeah, and with the doctors here in British Columbia too, it's interesting that she's doing that. But because they've got the program here where they're doing the research, and they've given the go-ahead for 5 patients to use psilocybin for medical purposes, right? And that's here in British Columbia. So, it's interesting because, and too with Allison, she'd be another one that you should get on as a guest too, or talk to Kim, is Allison Murden. Yeah. Because she uses a large dose for pain and stuff too. Yeah. And Sita is another one that you should talk to. Sita's got long-term use and knows quite a bit about psilocybin too.
All of these people are already on the list.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing. With so many people with collaborations, right? And that's the good thing about our community, is that we can collaborate. We know the same people because we're all from the same community, but the information sharing. And that's the best part and getting the awareness, because we are in small pockets all across the country. Like Cindy's out in Truro or wherever the heck she's in Nova Scotia, right? You're out in northern Ontario, and you've got your own little community going, and Al's in we're in his little area in Ontario too. Southern Ontario.
Prohibitionville.
Yeah, so we're in opposite ends of this province. And you and Michelle are in opposite ends of BC. Right? You and Michelle are in opposite ends of BC. Right? Al and I are in opposite ends of Ontario, right? So, I mean, we're all stretched out.
Right, exactly. And then, like I said, Sarah and Sean are up in northern BC now, too. So, like I said, our networks, too, have traveled so far. And it's, like I said, I was going to say earlier, it's too bad that Kim McNeary had moved from Yellowknife back to Nova Scotia, because if not, then we could have we coaxed her into a show from Yellowknife, and then we would have been coast to coast to coast to coast.
Yeah, that's right. We're missing Kim now. We're missing Kim.
Right?
Yeah.
We need a host
for so long, and now she's
we need a host from way up north, don't we?
Right? So that would be coast to coast to coast.
Yes.
Maybe we can coax Sarah and Sean into something along the ways, but you never know. But I think, were you thinking of wrapping the show up, or are we still on the air?
We're still live. we're still live.
I'm ready to go, so let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. I've got to go too. But hey, at 8:00, I didn't know whether we were going to have a broadcast, and here we are, 90 minutes later. It's the proper amount of showtime. 90 minutes. We're at 87, so we're doing good.
Great.
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Well, thanks for reaching out, Al. It was a pleasure being on.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for joining in. This is shout out time. You get to do your shout outs still. I'll let you do shout outs. Got one? Kim always got shout outs.
Oh, me? Oh, okay. All right. Sure. Yeah, my shout out is to Open Your Eye. A brand new show on the Pace Radio Network. Open Your Eye. We air the second and the fourth Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And focus is, of course, going to be psychedelic medicine and what psychedelic medicine can do for us as a whole. Joint host Cindy Howell will be joining me every week, along with Michelle Sikora, who has a segment at the end of our show called Patient Interaction and Microdosing. So I'm looking forward to launching that on the fourth Thursday of February the 23rd, with a very special and exciting guest to start us off. That is to be announced, to build some anticipation, but it's definitely a show you're not going to want to miss.
Yes. It's congratulations, Kim, on your new show. You've been here for 7 years, and now you've done this show from top to bottom.
This was the first one I developed.
Yeah. You did it all. Having to deal with the music or anything like logos, artwork. Content, getting the people that you want involved in it, just discussing ideas, and you've gone in a whole, it's a medical direction with a different product, but it's still a natural plant-based medicine.
That's right, and that's always been my focus, is to live a natural lifestyle with as many natural elements in your life as you can possibly get. Ditch the pharma whenever possible. When there is a natural substitute out there, use that instead. And this fits that criteria.
Yeah. People do it all the time. They can switch it around. I know, as cannabis patients ourselves, I'm sure, I know I have, and I'm sure you guys have as well, been able to not have to take something or replace something, through cannabis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Kim, you're up next week. Who's our guest?
Next week is to be announced.
To be announced. All right. TBA is coming back to join us. It was quite the conversation last time we had with him. Tamara, did you shout out? Go.
I did my shout out to get your drugs tested. Yeah,
right,
to get your drugs tested. That's what got us rolling onto a different conversation again. So just like I said, just thanks for having me on. And I'll shut my mouth because we'll just keep talking if I keep talking.
That's right. Okay, sounds good. All right. Shout out to our sponsors, BMA Hydroponics.com, Legacy420.com, and DrBucksCTS.com, as well as Camelford Lifestyle Shop. And thank you guys for doing this. Unplanned conversation always going to make interesting conversation, and you never know where it's going to go. And until the next time, everybody have a good time. We'll talk to you all soon.
Good night.
Night.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net. Do you want to hear what patients and cannabis advocates have to say? If so, then catch the Pace Radio Show Wednesday nights here on paceradio.net.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
BMA Hydroponics has everything you need to succeed. Visit our hydroponics superstore at 404 Maitland Drive in Belleville, and we'll show you how to grow your own quality cannabis for pennies per gram. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 613-967-9888. BMA Hydroponics. It's worth the drive. The only way to go.
CP operates a medicinal cannabis signing clinic. If you want to grow your own medicinal cannabis and are located anywhere in Canada, then I'd like to suggest that you give them a call. They can be reached at 1-613-967-9888. That's 1-613-967-9888, and grow on with CP.
Are you interested in Canadian and international cannabis news? If you are, then catch myself, Kim Cooper, and Al Graham for our live reefer report on the Pace Radio Network, found at paceradio.net.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or a commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.